everybody, this is Bobby with Bobby Stamps, and I have my second card for my September free card packets that I want to share with you guys today. This is card number 2 in the promotion. I do this every month. If you spend $25, I send you one free card packet. If you spend $35, you earn 2. And if you spend $50, you earn all 3 make and takes to make the cards that I have featured on my blog. If you're interested, you can see all the cards and the hostess code that you have to use with the order. It's at bobbystamps.com, and it will have all 3 of the pictures I will show you. I've already done the video for card 1 for this month. I did that last week. So this one is for card 2, and I will show you all of them at the end of the video. So I want to just tell you really quickly a little bit about the stamps that I'm using. Comes from, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you can see everything. It comes from the Farmhouse Christmas Suite in the new holiday catalog. I love this holiday catalog. So I'm going to use some of the Festive Farmhouse Designer Series paper. You can get some galvanized buttons, stripped burlap. I used the corrugated dynamic textured impressions folder on my piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock. Here's the DSP that we're going to use. And then it's got a cardstock pack, some farmhouse embellishments, cotton twine, a red distressed card tin. I love this. I have this. I just actually put this out today on my countertop so I can start putting some of my cards away that are just sitting around. If you want to visit my blog too, you can download the free PDF. It tells you all of the supplies I used, and then on the second sheet it has the instructions on how to put the card together. And when you go to my blog, there will be a tiled image of all of the supplies. Right under that image to the left is a hyperlink, very tiny. It says supply list. Click on that, and then that is how you download that free PDF. It's kind of hiding under there. I don't have any control over where it posts or the size of it. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but it's not. Okay, let's get started. Our card base is Cherry Cobbler. And then, like I said, I have a piece of Mossy Meadow that I ran through that corrugated dynamic impressions folder. And then I used the triple banner punch to just make a little banner there at the end. This will all already be done for you. All the cardstock, the die cutting, you'll receive the little circle with the stitched circle framelit, and then a smaller one, and then this is a little scrap piece. I'll explain later what we're going to do with that. I don't send stamped images. That is against Stampin' Up! Policy, so I cannot do that. I'm also going to use some of that braided linen trim from that suite, the Farmhouse suite. And then I'm going to use some of this shimmery white embossing paste. And then I have the palette knives. And then I'm just going to show you really quick the stamp set. And then those are the framelits. Okay. And then I'm going to use Memento ink. And then Cherry Cobbler ink. And then I'm going to use the dark Old Olive and the dark Cherry Cobbler. And for the Stampin' Right markers, I'm using the black. Okay. I think that is all of the supply. So let's go ahead, and anytime we're going to use the blends, you want to use the Memento ink because it will not bleed with the Stampin' Blends. So I'm just going to ink that up, and then we're just going to stamp our truck right there. Whoops. I kind of did a tree or a card like this, I want to say like 2 years ago with the truck that we have, the country truck that we already have in our annual catalog. And I die cut one of the trees out and put it kind of like on the back of the truck like it was carrying it. And that just brought back memories when I did that. Okay, I'm just going to leave that to the side. I'm just going to do all this stamping really quick. So we're going to stamp the sentiment that says, Happy Christmas Wishes. And let me just get it turned right. You just want to stamp that right in the center of the smallest circle. And the Christmas does not fit. And the reason it does not fit is because we're going to stamp this again on the little scrap piece of paper you're going to get. And then we're just going to cut out the word Christmas. So just as straight as you can. I'm not a very straight cutter, so this makes me a little bit nervous. So just cut it out the best you can, and then you can just trim it down. You could even banner these if you wanted to. I'm just going to cut that like that. And then I'm just going to put a little strip of snail right there on the back. And then, like I said, we're just going to cover up the first Christmas. I got a little something on there. I'm not sure what that is, but that's my fault for getting that little smudge on there. I'm not sure what it was, but we won't worry about that right now. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better where I do my coloring. So I'm just going to take the white end of the old olive and just color that tree in. This is such a pretty card, but it really does not take long at all to get this colored in. You'll see as I'm going, and I'm going to try to not talk while I'm doing these more detailed areas. And then I just went ahead and did the inside as well. And I'm going to move out and do the wider area of the truck, and then I think I'm going to switch and use the smaller end when I'm trying to do those, because I can't get close enough to it to see, because I don't want my head in the video for you guys. Like I just got right into the headlight area there. Don't do that. It never helps when you're trying to rush and talk at the same time. That's a recipe, for me anyway, that is a recipe for mistakes, like I just made. Okay. And I kind of went over that just a little bit. Okay. Oh, and I had totally moved it out. I forgot I zoomed in. I hope you guys could see what I was doing. So I'm just going to go back in with the smaller end of the Stampin' Blend now to just color in these tiny areas here. And then I'm going to use the Stampin' Right marker to just color in the wheels. Okay, and then I'm also going to just outline that steering wheel. And then in my original card, I went ahead and did these, the mirrors in the cherry cobbler, but I'm just going to do it in the black today. And then I'm just going to go back in really quick and just kind of do one of these numbers like that, okay? And then it looks like I need to get right in there to make that colored in. And then it looks like I didn't get right here. Okay. And then on the headlights, I'm going to grab my, I think this one is Daffodil Delight. Yep, it's the dark. I'm just going to color in just to give those just a little bit of color. Okay, and then I'm just going to put that out of the way. And, well, I guess I need that. I need it back to put the snow on it. Now I'll have to do this and just pause the video and wait for it to dry and then come back to show you guys. So I'm just gonna, I like to always just stir mine up really good before I use it. And you do not need much at all. So then you can just palette it on, and it's just the same concept as with icing. If you take your spatula and lift it up, you know, make these little things, it's going to make it appear like snow. And I just kind of went up to the back of the truck. I mean, you can do right up to the truck. I mean, it's snowing, it's going to be everywhere. Okay, and then I'm just making those little dips in there, and then I'm just going to peel just a little bit of that off. It just kind of feels thick right there. And then go back, because I don't want it to take forever to dry. Okay, I'm going to pause the video. I will probably use my heat tool to help that set a little bit, and then I will dry that, clean up my palette knife, and I'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. It's not quite dry. I did not get my heat tool out. I was busy doing other things, so I'm just going to be really careful, and we'll just continue on with it. It is still a little bit tacky, but we're just going to make do. So I'm going to go ahead, while I'm still waiting, we'll just go ahead and start layering the pieces together. So I'm just going to I'm going to use Tombow, since this is so thickly embossed that we want to make sure it's going to stay on there. I don't think snail would be a good option to hold that on there for us. But for the banner piece, I'm just going to go ahead and we'll put three passes of snail on the back should be good. Okay, and then we're just going to take some of this twine, and we're just going to create us a little bow to go at the top. Okay, kind of get it, oops, didn't mean for that to happen. Kind of get it the size that you want, and then you can just kind of even up those ends, kind of like that. And I am going to make it just a smidge smaller, I think. Something like that. I'm just going to trim those up just a little bit more. Something like that looks cute. That one side still looks a little bit big to me, but we'll go with it. Okay, and then I'm just going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'll be very careful placing those on the back. And then let me grab our sentiment, and we'll put that on. And I'm just going to grab a mini glue dot. Thought I had my piercing tool, but I don't. So I'll just use the end of my snips. I'm just going to place that right there on the back, and then just put it right there at the top in the center. And then I'm going to grab my dimensionals. I'm going to go ahead and try to peel off all that I need and be careful. And the Stampin' Blends do bleed through, so there's just nothing that can be done about that. Okay, I don't want to push down on that. I'll push down on it when I place it on the card. And if you guys are interested, I do a weekly Facebook Live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd love to have you join us. Whoops, that one stuck to my finger. And then we're just going to place that right there. And I'll show you guys in comparison to the card that I made for, these were done at my local card and coffee class on August 25th. And I just want to show you the difference between doing a video and talking through trying to color versus when I designed this one at home and I was all to myself and had time and didn't have to worry about where my head was at. So you can see this one I kind of went out of the lines. This one is the one I designed for the class, and it looks much better. So as I promised, these are the other two cards. This was card 1. This one is the free card packet for 2, and this is the third card packet. I will have a video coming later in the week to show you guys how I made this card. Thanks so much for visiting my blog today and watching the video. make sure that you visit my blog. It's bobbystamps.com, and you can download the free PDF to show you how to put the card together and the supply list. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. And if you need a holiday catalog, just send me an email, comment on this video. I would love to send you one. Thanks, guys.